We will move on to our next speaker, Ms. Yew Tian Tian, founder and center manager of QT Cottage Baby Child Center. Uh, Prior to the opening of this baby child care center, Ms. Yew was actually a licensed pharmacist, but she had another calling. And I shall stop here. Without further ado, let's give a big hand applause for Miss Yu as she presents a talk entitled Don't Give Your Potential a Death Sentence.
Hello, good morning everybody. I just have a brief introduction of myself. My name is Tian. I'm the founder of QT Cottage. My earlier, I'm a pharmacist, graduated from University of Nottingham, UK itself. I did my practical training and my examination in UK. That's why I'm a registered pharmacist in UK. I work with Boots Chemist. If you're in UK, you know Boots Chemist is the largest chain pharmacy in UK. I was there for 2 years working as a pharmacist. I returned to Malaysia in year 2000. I took my registration exam. I'm a registered pharmacist in Malaysia as well as the member of Malaysia Pharmacy Society. After being a community pharmacist for 5.5 years, I thought, gosh, am I going to be a pharmacist as a branch manager for the rest of my life? And I got the opportunity to switch from healthcare to marketing. So I joined an international company as a product manager at the time. It was very exciting. I learned a lot of new things, but it was challenging as well because it's marketing. It's not pharmacist anymore, so it's no longer technical. So during meetings, they talk about SWOT analysis, pestle analysis. I don't really know what they are talking about, honestly, but I have to pretend that I know. So they would do about, we talk about SWOT analysis of the product, what's the strength, the weakness, and etc. I just assume, I know, I will just do, and follow what is required. So after about 3 years in marketing, I'm still a product manager. I'm not going anywhere. And I start to think, gosh, I think that it's time to really do something about it. So I took up MBA with Segian in 2006. That time the program was doable because it's only weekends. I can't give up my job. But of course, I think Akif mentioned just now, right? You get a lot of negative things when you want to do something. They will tell you, oh, not to do it. One of them, hey, you're pregnant. I was 5 months pregnant at the time. You're pregnant, you shouldn't be taking up MBA. It's going to be a long course, you'll be staying at home. But I can't change her. She's my mom. I cannot change my mom. Then my brother said, my elder brother, he is actually graduated from WE Engineering from Dublin, Ireland. He was a GM of a company at the time. He told me, gosh, don't bother about MBA. You don't need that. You just work. You gain the experience from work. You don't need to waste money and time. So I don't get much support from my family members that I should proceed and study MBA, probably because I'm a girl. They always thought that, oh, lady, you should be staying at home, looking after children. I think that's why I'm the only lady speaker here, right? So I have to speak up for all the girls here. It's not true. Okay? So my only supporter, my husband, he was really supportive at the time. So that time I was pregnant. So he really very supportive. If you really want to do it, you go ahead and do it. So that's enough for me. So at that time, for the next 3 years during MBA course, I was playing a multiple role. I was a product manager, I was a wife, I was a mother for a newborn, and I was a trainer. So as a trainer, I travel a lot. My biggest audience was 2,000 people, but still I have stage fright. Like what you say just now, I will always have stage fright. So I was trainer it was tough. It was tough 3 years. But when I finished my MBA, I already have 2 sons. So I did my final exam when I was pregnant with my second one. So I don't believe a marriage, children can be hindrance to us. Especially I see a lot of girls here, right? It's not. To me, the children is a motivation to me. So they motivate me to do better because I want them to be proud. I have a mother who can do something rather than give up anytime. So think about it. After I finished MBA, not long after that, it actually changed my mindset because without MBA, your thinking horizon may not be as wide. So it actually changed my mindset, and in fact it reflects in my action. So I think that shown. So the president really liked me. She promoted me to be the product education manager, and I was leading a team of 4 trainers. After that, I joined Sun Pharma as a marketing manager as well as training manager. But to me, the paper doesn't mean much. In fact, it's the knowledge that I get from MBA helped me a lot, because it's like a nutshell of all the experts telling me what to do and how to do it, give me a more systematic thinking that helped me a lot in what I was doing in marketing, in fact. But Sun Pharma didn't do very well because it was in the year of 2008. There was a crisis in the Middle East. I think the oil price dropped, so they decided to close down Sun Pharma. So I was staying at home. That time I was pregnant with my second one, doing my last paper in the MBA. So again, my family come in, don't bother about finding another work, stay at home, just enjoy your time with children. Yeah, I did that. I was pregnant, I was taking care of my first son, taking care of my husband for 1 whole year. Honestly, it's very boring. It's really boring. I feel so useless. Because every time my husband comes back, I will be telling him, oh, your son, naughty that, naughty this, not eating, not doing this and not doing that. It's so different. Because before that, we were talking about more valuable talk, like staff management, about marketing, you know what I mean? So I just start to feel that, that's probably not the way to go. So I start to looking for a job. When I need to look for a job, that means I need to look for childcare. I have 2 sons, right? So when I look around, gosh, I'm not sure, have you all ever been looking around for a childcare? I was not very lucky. So I thought, enough is enough. I started my own. I started my own childcare center. So I set up a childcare center, taking in infants from 2 months with a team of nurses, because I'm a medical professional. So I think I will start off with quite medically, with nurses taking of infants. So I started the center with just 1 baby and my son in October 2010. Then it started to grow. It grew to the extent that in 2012, I decided to move. I moved to another place in First Avenue. Okay. In the year of 2011, because I started the business in 2010, October, I jumped into it. I took a year to really understand the industry. As what Akif just mentioned, people will always challenge you, right? My auntie say, God, this is not your industry again. It's not your industry, you never worked in childcare before, don't bother, move out from this house is not nice, feng shui not nice. I can help with all kind of things, all the negative things, but I cannot get rid of not my friend, my relatives. These are my relatives, I cannot change them. So during the 1 year, 2011 itself, I attended so many seminars, just to understand the industry, to understand what is childcare. So now I'm a registered childcare provider under Jabatan Kebajikan. I'm the member of Early Childhood Childcare and Education Council. I'm also the member of Persatuan Pengasuh Perdata Malaysia. So really, in the short 1 year, I really had to learn everything from scratch to the whole industry. To me, QT Cottage is a learning organization. We cannot stop learning. I think you will hear this over and over again. We cannot stop learning. So in fact, we are continuing getting feedbacks and trying to be better. We as individuals in the company as well, we are trying to improve. Like some of my staff, Naswa, she graduated I think 3 years ago. She is my supervisor in the center. I can see her, she growing in terms of leadership, because when you are a supervisor, you don't think that, oh, it's a title, a nice title, but there's a lot of leadership involved, a lot of management involved. So she is growing in terms of that. I have 2 trainers in my center, so they are learning in terms of more technically how to do trainings to the staff and etc. So we are learning. So for me personally, I'm fine-tuning my people management skill, and still I learn. Be humble, right? So next course, maybe I'll just take up diploma or degree in early childhood. I don't think I can stop learning. Okay, so I just want to share, because just now as Azik mentioned, it's easy to start a business. I think it gives a mindset of whereby it comes easy. Okay, it does in certain way. I just want to talk about the new generation, because it's Gen Y, right? All of you here are Gen Y, because you are born in the early 80s, the 90s, I presume. So you are still the Gen Y. I'm half Gen Y, slightly older than the Gen Y. But anyway, the Gen Y, according to the expert, they are pleasant looking. Their resume looks good. Really, I get a lot of resume. They look really fantastic. They dress very well and they speak very well. So see, but after a while, this is general, not my staff, alright? My staff are really good staff. Generally, they will say they seem to be always late for work. They're distracted at work and they leave works on time. So you see that? You are late again. Don't worry, I will leave early to make up for it. So they make mistakes and they don't like feedback. They make mistakes in documents, presentation, and they don't take feedback very well. If somebody tell him, okay, you may not be doing very well in this term, oh, I don't like it, I want to resign already. In the heart, I hate this boss, I want to resign. You know, they always think that way. They don't know what they don't know, and they make mistakes and they think they are right. So even they say, oh, okay, thank you for your feedback, but in their heart, I don't think I agree with you. You know, this is a Gen Y. The attitude of Gen Y. May not be everybody, but in general. So they have unrealistic expectations and think they were unfairly treated most of the time. Is it true? Don't take on much responsibilities, but think they should be paid more. I think this for every generation, even the Gen X, with whatever generation, right? We want to be paid more. So there's dating agency. Okay, I will enter beauty queen, millionaires, and what? Pub landlady, and we'll see what comes up. The expectation, unrealistic expectation. Yeah, if you have this kind of expectation, I think your employer will have certain type of expectation as well. How long will you take to do the impossible? You can do that, then they will pay you more. So the Gen Y in general, they are very ambitious, they want to achieve something. But this is my sharing to you. But don't be arrogant. I think Aziz mentioned that before, your head down, right? But your action up. It's the same. If you are arrogant, you are giving yourself a death sentence to any potential. Okay? So if you think, because I do heard, there was one nurse, she did very well, she's a first class student from Segi. She was recruited in hospital, but I don't think she is very welcomed by the team because she's arrogant. She thought she knows everything. I'm a first class student. Why should I be bothered to do this? Why should I be bothered to be in this department? It's really bad. So you will be stagnant and eventually outdated. If you think you have learned enough. Okay? So be it Gen X, Gen Y, or Gen Z, you need to continue to gain as much knowledge as you can from working experience. You doing PlayStation at home, doing nothing at home, it's not going to bring you anywhere. So you continue to learn, even though if you need to go back to school. Okay? So you willingness with an open heart. Okay? So you may be thinking, gosh, I'm speaking here, I'm very lucky, I go overseas, I graduated from UK university, I worked in UK before, and etc. But you may have not known that I actually worked for free in hospital before. I worked for free with a nearby community pharmacist before. I actually worked part-time in a Chinese takeaway in UK before. So I work. No matter how low the pay is, I work. It's from the work you gain the experience. So don't thought, oh, they don't pay me enough, so I don't want to work. Then I rather stay at home and watch television. That's not going to bring you anywhere. So you need to work, no matter what kind of work. You just need to be humble, do your job, and gain the experience. Okay, I think probably this is my last slide. It says here, ambitious. Ambition is probably only in paper, right? I write my ambition down. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse. It's only in paper. Okay, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? The boss asks. Then the employee said, sitting in your seat. Then the boss said, what? Well, I'm demonstrating ambition by aspiring to your position. Naturally, you will have moved on by then. Right? Silent. The boss keep quiet. Then the boss asks, so where do you see me in 5 years? Sitting in my seat. So if you don't continue to learn and improve yourself, that may actually happen. Right? So I think that's it. I sum up the speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yew.